channel. So we're in the BMW, and in this video what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to change the brake fluid on it, and I'm going to do it in a different way than before. I mean, I've done it on the C1 before, but on this one I'm going to try and do it using Diagnostic. So I've got this TopScan tool which I've been sent, so I'm going to see how much I can actually do with it. I think this is on the light version, so I'm probably going to have to buy the Pro version, but let's see what it's like. Nice and carefully unbox it, which it features clear instructions on how to achieve. Yes. So now I've got it out of the packaging. I do need to register probably that number there, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna register it and get it working, and then I'll come back. Right, so I've now done all that using that QR code, so let's plug it in. There was quite a lot to download, about 15 gigabytes of stuff to download, so let's see what it actually does. And now we are actually connected to the car, so if we look on there, we've got Diagnostics, but we actually want the maintenance bit. So we click on more there, and then we've got stuff like the ABS, which is what we want to go into because we want to bleed the brakes. So we go into there, it's a BMW, click on that, then it connects to the car, it goes through all that shit, and then now we are connected. So if we go on the hot functions, we have got brake bleeding, vent brakes. Now I'm not going to go any further because I'll do it when I'm actually doing it, but you can see where this is going. There is quite a few different things that you can do on this using this scanner, a lot more than any other Bluetooth with your phone based scanner that I've ever tried before. It seems pretty good so far, but we'll see how it works. So let's get on with it. Yes, so this is unrelated to the video, but I'll just throw this in here. Good thing about this is it's small and you've always got your phone on you. So I've just been driving in my car, these lights have come on because I've got a traction control fault on it, so I've no traction control. So I keep that in the glove box because it's nice and small. So now I can hopefully find out what it is. And it turns out that the steering angle was implausible according to the sensor, so I've reset it, it's let me do that, so let's see if that comes back. Anyway, let's get back to what we were doing. Yes. Right, so back on with this. So I've got the lid it's not off, but it's released to let air into it. I've not put a bleeder on it. It does say you are supposed to use a bleeder, but when you do this, it runs the pump. So I'm going to see if it'll work without a pressure bleeder on it. Now, you might notice the quality has dipped slightly because I'm using an old phone to film this, because this is the phone, well, I'm using the phone that I usually to film on the actual scanner. So if we go on to this, we're on the hot functions where we got up to before. Let's go on ABS bleeding, vent brakes, replacing, changing the fluid, continue. Connect to bleeder. Now it's saying I've got to connect the pressure bleeder here, which I'm just going to not do and see what happens. Yes, the opposite one to the one I'm actually at, but I'm just going to do it anyway. Now I don't think it's going to do anything, this. I'll undo that and see if any fluid comes out. I think it does it twice. There actually does seem to be a tiny little bit of fluid coming through, but not enough. So now it's saying to do the same on the rear left, but of course I'm on the front left, which is probably going to be the last one. I'm going to run through them until I get to the front left and then just see if it actually works without a pressure bleeder on it. And now, moment of truth. So it turns out without a pressure bleeder on, it doesn't actually work. So let's try it again with a pressure bleeder. I suspected it wouldn't work, but I thought I'd try it and answer the question that I've seen a few people asking online is, will it work without one? So anyway, I'm pulling all the fluid out of that with a syringe, oh well, multiple syringefuls, because obviously it takes more than that, and then refilling it with new fluid. Now if you want to take all of it out, which would be nice to do, then there's a little filter which is sort of in the way, but it, well, I showed it on the C1 video, it's a bit of a pain in the arse to get out, and the fluid didn't look as dirty as I was expecting on this actually. So anyway, let's fill this up to start with, and then put this on, tighten that up. This has got new fluid in it as well, and then we pump it up. It's got a little push gauge on it, and pump it up until we reach, well, it says up to 2 bar, but it doesn't need to be quite that high. Yes. Right, so now let's do the same process again, but with the bleeder attached. Yes. I mean, even though it says it's doing the rear right, I'm on the front left and it is actually doing it on that one too. And it's probably going to push that right out the end. Oh shit. And as you can see, that does actually appear to work. And the fluid that's come out of it, it's not that bad actually. It's not as bad as I was expecting, because I've never done this on this car. The back's been done because I had some new brake pipes fitted a couple of years ago, and that was all flushed through then. But the front, as far as I know, never has. And I was expecting it to be dirty, and that's a little bit disappointed. But anyway, I'm going to carry on and I'm going to do the other ones. I'm not going to show any of it because, well, I've got to use an old phone to do it. It's a pain in the arse. I'm using my phone to actually do it. So I'm going to get on with it and then I'll come back. And then when you are all done, we can release this. Yes. And it should just be a case of removing this. And I was going to say top it up with some more brake fluid, but it appears that it's already done that itself. So obviously I've sucked a bit of that out to make it up to the level, and spilt some of it everywhere. So you know what, the best thing for cleaning brake fluid is actually soapy water if you're cleaning brake fluid off a surface. Oh, that's what I find the best thing to use anyway. So I'm just going to give this a clean up, and then we're pretty much done. And we do have a nice solid pedal, so it does actually seem that it's worked. So anyway, I think that's all for this one. This tool, you've probably seen it more and more on the channel because it is, well, it's quite a good tool. It does a lot more than any other scanner that I've had that works off your phone, and most other scanners that I've had in general, to be honest with you. So that's quite good. I am a little bit disappointed that I have to use a pressure bleeder to push the brake fluid through, even while using diagnostics. Now, I did think that was going to be the case because, well, I did a bit of research into it and everyone was saying that you did have to do that. But I thought I'd try it without anyway, just to see if it worked, which it didn't. So anyway, like I say, that's all for this one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the usual shit. Oh, and one more thing, it doesn't seem to matter which brake it says that it's doing on the screen. So when it tells you to release the bleed valve, as it called, bleed valve, with the bleed nipple on whichever caliper, it seems to do it on all of them. Like it was saying it was doing the rear right one, whilst it was coming out of the front one quite a lot, which is the one we're doing. So I don't think that really matters. It possibly does, but it didn't seem to. Anyway, see you next time, bye.